Hello, Dr. Gaitros here, and we're going to do some C++ programming. I thought a little Johnny Be Good by Justin Johnson might help us start off in a good mood. Alright, well, let's get to it. Our first C++ program. We'll lower this down a little bit and then start programming. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a new project. And I've brought CLine up here. It's been installed. It works and works quite well. And I'm going to show you a few things on it. I go up here to File. Let me just start over again. So I'll say go up here to File and say New Project, and it comes up with this dialog box. Here you want to give it a title. And I'm just going to go ahead and say Assignment 1. I've already got one out there. I'll say 1-1. Language standard, I would recommend that you go with C++11, although any of these would be fine, including the 98, because we're not going to use any of the advanced features for it. And we're just going to go ahead and say create. And project can be opened in either a new window or replace the one in this one. We'll just say we'll use this window right here. So it'll go out and create that project, and there we are. Now I want to show you a few things that might make your usage of this just a little bit better. One of the things I didn't like about this was the font size, especially when I show it in class. So how to change that? Well, you want to go to File, and then you want to go down to Settings. Okay, and there we have the editor down here. And in editor we can pick the font. You can do the color schemes. I've got this one set to font size 16, which, given that I need glasses and contacts, helps me see the font size a little bit better. You can change it to anything you want. I also like Courier New, and the reason I like Courier is because the characters line up with each other. The spaces set aside for each character is the same. They're consistent, so it looks like a teletype machine, which is something I'm used to. So we'll just say OK. So there we have our font size. The other thing you want to do is you may want to change the name of it. Well, to do that, you want to click on the name of the project right there that has, and go up to Refactor and say Rename, and it allows you to change the name of it. Later on, we're going to show you how to go and find the file and save it. Well, now we're going to write a program, very short little program. In this class, I recommend you go ahead and say using, spell it right. Let's using namespace standard. Let's go ahead and clean this up. We'll go ahead and hit returns, and I like to put indent things, and this does it automatically. Stand out, and then we put the return on that, and we put the bracket on here. And I'm going to try to explain this as we go. I put using namespace standard up here at the top because what it does, that it goes inside this library IOStream, and it says there's several parts of the IOStream library that we want to use. The cout can work with many different things. We want the standard version of it, and by saying using namespace standard, we can actually take this off of cout and indl, and it will default to that, and it just kind of makes our program look a little bit better. Okay. So the IOStream is the library we want to use. We're saying this line, we're saying use the standard version of it. This line right here declares our main program. The int says it's going to return a number back to the operating system that tells it how it finished. Main is the name. The parentheses, we have optional parameters we can pass to our program, and in our class we won't be doing this. This cout, as we said in class, handles output to standard output. The less than symbol is a redirector that says take this string right here and the end of line statement and send it to cout. And then return, it says return 0. See that 0 right there? That corresponds to that integer up here that says tell the operating system that everything handled okay. Let's build this. And some folks found out that you could build and run in the same time by just saying run. Okay, that scene looks okay, and we're going to say run assignment 1-1, and hello world, everything works great. That's wonderful. Okay, good, good, good. All right, now we're going to do just a few other things as an introductory program right here, and I suggest you kind of do this along with me. You notice when I hit enter, I don't have to do tab, it automatically indents for me, which is really a nice feature. We're going to declare two integers. We'll say int, and we'll say number 1 comma and number 2. Now I'm going to show you another feature right here that's not necessary. That is a handy feature. I'm going to initialize these to zeros. That's just a good habit to do, just in case somewhere down the road I assume that they've been initialized to 0, but just in case I just go ahead and initialize them to 0. Oops. Okay. Now then, I want to read them in, but before I do that, I want to send out a message that says cout, please enter in two numbers. Okay, colon. Okay, and it's going to print that out exactly as I put the colons there to kind of say here are the two numbers they're following, and then I want to turn around and read them in. Cn. Now notice that the greater than symbol goes in the other direction. That means take it from standard input and give it to the two things I'm going to put right over here, which is number 1 and then followed by number 2. Now you notice that I'm typing. It's trying to anticipate what I'm going to need, and it says, hey, look, number, there's two things you've declared that could go here, number 1 or number 2. Do you want to pick one of them? And you can actually go down and say, yeah, I like that one right there. Let's pick that one. Enter. So that's going to read them in. And now what I want to do is I just want to print out a message that says number 1 and number plus number 2 is, and now I want to print those out, and I can put that right here. I can either add them together and put that out there, or I can actually put the formula right there. All right, and now notice right here, and I'll put a space right there. Notice it turned red right there, and it says, wow, that's undeclared. I don't know what that is. I made a typo right there. So I'll just put the number 2 there, and everything should be fine. All right. So let's run this. Let's build it. Build project. And let's run it. Run assignment 1. Okay. Enter two numbers. And I'm going to enter, put my cursor down here. And I can either enter the numbers and hit return after each one, or I can just enter them in consecutively. I'll say 12 and 12, which should be 24, and it says number 1 plus number 2 is 24, and you'll notice that right here we have an exit code of 0. When you see that return 0 right there, that turned it back into the operating system, and it says well, it finished 1. Let's change that. All right, let's change that. Let's just show you how that works. We'll just change it to 10. All right, we'll say run. We can say run. It will actually have to build it again, enter in two numbers, and we'll enter in 12 and 12 again, and say exit code of 10. See that? See, so that's how that works. This is a very, very short, very clean introduction to your first program in C++. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like my YouTube channels, go to YouTube, search for Gaitros FSU, and look forward to doing the next one for you. Have a good day. And back to Justin Johnson. All right.